Hi guys, how's it? Kia ora to my Kiwi followers, g'day to everyone else, howdy from Texas. 35-23, the final from a sold-out Ellis Park in Johannesburg, South Africa. Go ahead and talk about the score lines, and then we'll talk about what went wrong, at least in my opinion. First off, I want to thank everybody for following me, the comments, everything, all the new followers. I appreciate it. Yes, I know it's kind of a unique thing to see a Springbok supporter all the way over here in the U.S. and Texas, and I do appreciate every bit of criticism, constructive, otherwise. I do appreciate it. Obviously, you see massive Springbok fan here, living in the U.S. and just trying to be a different voice, not with a thick Safa accent or a Kiwi accent, although I'll use quite a bit of slang, obviously, from those places, but just being a different voice in all of this. And also want to thank all of my followers who did not spoil this match for me. I did everything I could to stay off of social media. I had trainings at work for safety. I'm going to do this like once a year, to keep compliant, because I do work in an industrial place. So safety is always key. Obviously, this is my fun thing that I like to do on the side, but if I can't stay safe at work, I can't do this for you guys. So it was I had to go do it. This good little training exercise for a bit with all my coworkers, and they brought donuts and ordered pizza, and it was just a good time. Just got done watching the match, having a bit of dinner, had a double cheeseburger. Fat Shack is the name of the place. They don't sponsor my channel, but they probably should. So let's go ahead and just talk about this game. We'll go through the score lines. We'll talk about what I think went wrong and what we need to adjust going forward, obviously. So, not even 3 minutes into the game, Damien Willemse gets a yellow card 3 minutes into this game. Not a great way to start out the game. Go ahead and bring up the obvious. Joseph Dweba. Yeah, that guy was not very good at the scrum. 5 minutes later, Peter Steph-Toy gets a beautiful intercept. It's a deep run. He offloads to but he's held up by Kriel. He's held up. Kriel, in all of this fracas that's going on, does a pretty low tackle on Caleb Clark, who put out Faf the Clerk last week, and yep, he put out Jesse Kriel 8 minutes into this game. Moved out to the wing. LaRue came in and the fullback for relief. Back and forth, a lot of penalties. We're giving them away. It's the exact opposite of last week, man. We're in penalty trouble early in this game. 24th minute in, we get an offside penalty. Mwanga likes to kick. He kicks, and he's 1 for 1 on the day, making it 3-0, 24 minutes into the game. Not even 4 or 5 minutes later, Sam Cane, the captain, the beleaguered captain of the All Blacks, people have been saying, is this guy really supposed to be the captain? Multiple phases. They get numbers out wide to the right, and the All Blacks go across. Mwanga does miss the conversion. It's 8-0, 27 minutes. The writing's on the wall already, folks. 5 minutes after that, Tokiyahu, after 10 phases, he gets across. Mwanga nails it. It's 15-0, 32 minutes into this thing, and I'm already getting on WhatsApp, texting people, God, we're playing rubbish. The writing's on the wall. We're about to get killed by these guys. And then I eat my words. 4 minutes later, Lucanio who's moved out to wing to replace Jesse Kriel, he scores off of Willie LaRue, just absolutely beautiful offload. He crosses at the 36th minute line. 36 minutes, and Pollard converts. It's 15-7, 36 minutes into it. A couple minutes later, siren goes off. It's halftime. We get a penalty. New Zealand commits a penalty. Pollard elects to kick, and we go in only down 5 points. After being down 15-0, it's 15-10 at halftime. We go to the second half, and our good fortunes continue a bit going into the second half. 44th minute, New Zealand gets a penalty for no arm tackle. Pollard kicks again. He's 3 for 3 on the day so far. We are only down by 2 points, 44 minutes into this thing, 15-13. Oh, man. Couple of minutes after that, bit of fireworks after a play. Jasper Wiese completely just folds Aaron Smith after the whistle's already been blown. He's saying he didn't hear the whistle. We had a penalty we were about to get a New Zealand penalty. It completely overrides that because he just levels Aaron Smith after a whistle. Mo'unga elects to kick. He's now 3 of 4 for kicking on the day, and they take an 18-13 lead at the 47th minute. About 10 minutes elapses. Lukhanyo makes a really, really deep run, offloads it to Mapimpi, but it gets called back because Jaden Hendrickson, they're saying he obstructed. So the try is called back, unfortunately. I've gone back. I'm going to probably have to go back and look at that again. I don't know if I necessarily saw it, but I'm going to go with the call on the field. They said there was obstruction. The try is disallowed, unfortunately. Mo'unga decides they get a penalty out of it. Mo'unga kicks, and he's 4 of 5 for the day, and it goes 21-13. The gap is widening once again. Man, 58th minute. Marks gets a turnover out of a ruck. He gets it out to Willemse. He does like this 25-30 meter offload to Mapimpi. No horns up this time, but he goes across at the 58th minute, making it 21-20 after Andre Pollard, who was money for the day on kicking. And it's 21-20 at 58 minutes. 8 minutes later, Barrett gets a yellow card. I believe this is also for obstruction. Rare yellow card for Barrett. I can rarely recall that guy getting very many, but he gets a yellow card at the 66th minute. Pollard kicks for the penalty, and we finally kind of we get a lead finally at 23-21, and that would be the last points we would score of the day. Pollard 5 for 5 kicking on the day. While they're a man down, All Blacks get a try. David Havilli, after 6 phases, it was an advantage. Kitsoff was offside, and the All Blacks cross at the 73rd minute. Mo'unga kicks. He's 5 of 6 so far. It's 28-23. And then 5 minutes later, off advantage, another offside penalty. Scott Barrett gets it across at the 78th minute, and Mo'unga is good. 35-23, the final score. So as it sits now, we are now in 3rd place in the standings. Argentina. Yeah, they put it on the Wallabies today. Both teams I picked winning lost today. I picked the Wallabies to win. I picked the Springboks to win. Both teams lost, so my Super Brew is going to take a nice little hit this weekend. I'm not too worried about that. But let's talk about what went wrong here today. And I already mentioned Joseph Dweba. That man should have been coming off the bench. I don't think he's bad. I just don't think he was good enough to start. These scrums should have never even been a competition. We should have been owning their front row with what we've got and what they've got. We should have been owning them, and we weren't. We were not owning them on the scrums. And it was obvious from the get-go. The very first scrum that we had in the game, it was obvious. We were not dominant on the scrums. Now, look, we're not known for our backs. We never have been. We've been known for our forwards. And when our forwards aren't doing their job, it doesn't matter because our backs, we're not the All Blacks. We don't have the backs to make up for the slack. We just don't. I mean, Lukhanyo had a great game. A couple of mishandles here and there. But the All Blacks have so many weapons from 10 through 15. And we just don't. And in order for us to win these games, our forwards have to be perfect. We're not an offensive exploding team. We don't put up 100 points on anybody. We just don't. Now, granted, I bet if we played Namibia and Zimbabwe every year, yeah, we could probably do that, but we don't do that. We're not the All Blacks. We don't play Tonga and Samoa every year, and the U.S. So, we deserve to lose because our forwards did not carry the team, which sucks. The All Blacks, we didn't do what we did last week. We kept the ball out of their backs' hands. We controlled the line. We did not control it this game. We were not perfect on lineouts. We were not perfect on scrummaging, and we have to be perfect to win. We're not going to beat them with our kicking. We're not going to beat them by outspeeding them. Yes, Mapimpi is fast. Lukhanyo is fast. Cheslin Colby, when he's healthy, he's super fast. we don't have those. We don't have Rico. We don't have we don't have a Rico. Rico Wani, yeah, not a defense. He's a defensive liability. Great speed. Probably should be playing wing, but I get why he doesn't. Jordy Barrett, Bowden Barrett, Richie Mong. We have those guys, but we don't have them in abundance like the All Blacks have. If you're going to say who are the best players on the Springboks, you probably mention anybody in jersey 1 through 8. You're not going to. You might bring up Lukanya Lam or Cheslin Colby, but with us, you're going to probably bring up anybody 1 through 8. If you're saying world class, you're going to bring up Malcolm Marks. You're going to bring up Stephen Kitzoff. You're going to bring up Nakane. You're going to bring up Enche. You're going to bring up Ebenetzebeth, Luther Hager, Franco Mustard, Peter Steph Toy. You're going to bring up those guys. Very rarely are you going to say Andre Pollard, Bowden Barrett. You're going to pick Bowden Barrett. Although I personally like Pollard, you're going to pick Bowden Barrett. Because he's just that much more of an explosive player. So that's what happened, in my opinion. We forgot, or we didn't forget, we just didn't rest on what we're better at, which is our forwards should have dominated the entire game. If our forwards had dominated the entire game, we wouldn't have gotten to the predicament that we got into. They would have still scored, but it wouldn't have been nearly as bad. It would have been like the previous weekend. We would have controlled the ball, and we just didn't control the ball. And we went into a hole, we dug ourselves out of it, but then we couldn't dig ourselves out of it again because we ran out of gas. Etzebeth got hurt a little bit at the end of the game. We had no replacements. Doing a 6-2 split, I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, when you're playing a team that's that good in the back, we probably should do a slightly different split. But I'm not the head coach. I'm just a fan. So with that being said, we've got a bit of a break. We need to get back to fundamentals of Springbok rugby, which is that dominant scrum, the set pieces, the line out. We've got to get back to that dominant play. I have to say, I am very impressed with Hunter Pollard. He's kicked 100% last 2 weeks in a row. I think he's on like a 16 kick streak right now. It's going to fall eventually, but it's good that he's kicking well right now because it could have been a lot worse than what it was. But with that being said, obviously we've got a little bit of time. We need to get back to fundamentals. Dwayne Vermeulen was a non-factor. He shouldn't have been playing, in my opinion. Love the guy to death. Thor is one of my greatest favorite players of all time. You've heard me talk about Daniel Johannes, aka Dwayne Vermeulen, many times. He shouldn't have been playing. Joseph Webber shouldn't have been starting. We should have started Malcolm Marks. That man had 4 turnovers last week. He had 1 in this game. He should have been starting the game. Just simple facts. I get that Faf de Klerk is out. Now we're going to have Krill out because he did fail the HIA. So we're going to be short on that. Where do we go on the wing? Do we bring in Fossey? Curtly Arenza's out for 3 more games after this. So what are we going to do on that right wing? Remains to be seen. We'll see how it goes. I was a bit disappointed, like I said, with Dwayne Vermeulen's plays. Joseph Dwaba, very disappointing. Jasper Fise, very disappointing. The scrum, very disappointing. The lineouts, very disappointing. We did what we could in the back, but unless our forwards are playing 100%, we don't have a chance. That's just how it is. We're not that good back strength-wise. The All Blacks can play like total cack up front because their backs are that damn good. We can't play like cack up front because our backs aren't that damn good. It's just the fact of the matter. It's just a fact. These are facts, guys. So we've got a little bit of a break, and then we get to play, I believe we play the Wallabies next. 1-1 as well. Everybody is 1-1 in this tournament now. So you're not going to have anybody going undefeated, making deep runs like the All Blacks did last year or having a lot of years. So back to the drawing board. We need to get back to fundamentals and see what we're going to do going forward. But until that time, guys, I hope everyone is safe wherever you're at. I am getting over COVID. I can actually breathe through my nose now. I'm still extremely exhausted, but I'm getting better. I hope everyone is safe wherever you're at in the world. I know it's a disappointing result, but that's why they play the games on Saturdays, Sundays. You go to church if you go to church. If not, you sit around, you have a braai, you have a beer, and you discuss what went wrong, and we get ready for the next game, because that's what we do as Springbok fans. So, like I said, hope everyone's good wherever you're at. I'll talk to you guys again very soon. Once again, thanks for the support, guys. Cheers.